Well, hello there. Nice to see you. I'm Sylvia Ford, Realtor with Coldwell Banker.
And I'm Linda Hollington, also with Coldwell Banker.
And while we're not on the porch, this is the porch. And
Nice to have you with us.
We want to talk a little bit about helping out your children. We see this a lot where the parents want to help out their children and buy. And we'd like to discuss first and foremost how to start them off before you get, if you hopefully your kids are younger, and ways to maybe impress upon them and educate them at a young age how to handle money and how to maybe save for a home and keep away from bad debts and keep away from student loans and things like that. So start as early as possible and show them your bank budgets and your statements and your budgeting. And Linda, you are an awesome budgeter. I wish I had started a lot earlier.
I'm in the weeds all the time.
Well, but you get it done and you do an awesome job.
I try to once a week just catch everything up. It's only going to be 5 or 6 transactions that way. But you want to start early with them. Possibly, I know how frightening this sounds. It's absolutely frightening. If you can let them start with a card where they have to manage one of your cards. You know, you can get a card for somebody else on your card. And it's a frightening thing to think of, I know. And then make them manage it.
Mm-hmm.
Make them be the one that's responsible for it, or they don't use the card.
Mm-hmm.
And they will learn that. It also should cost them something to use their card.
Mm-hmm.
That's for you to figure out. Because they need to understand the impact on how much money they have. You know, give them an allowance.
Mm-hmm.
I won't tell you how bad I was. Yeah, I will. I didn't give them a card. Back then, I didn't even have a card. I didn't use cards. But I gave them an allowance, $25, $30 a week. They had chores that they had to do, and they had choices. But don't come to me for money to go to the game, to go to the dance, or to go any. This is where you get this here. And it was also meant to be for their lunch. They didn't cost that much then. But they had the option of packing their lunch.
Mm-hmm.
I always had to tell you, you don't have to buy your lunch. There's, everything in there for you. Yeah, there's snacks, there's everything for you to take and drink. If you want to pack your lunch, then you can save your money to use it for something else. And something that gets them in the game right now so they understand it.
And if you're investing, be open and honest with them and talk about investments, talk about bad investments and getting into bad debt, things like that. What happens? Because if they don't learn these things, then they don't know when they get out on their own and they think, I can live just like mom and dad the way they raised me. And they're not, they're starters, they got to start and they've got to start small. And so many people, I've got so many kids, they can't buy a home and they can't even rent, quite frankly, because they made a lot of mistakes. And they lost vehicles to repossession, and they just didn't know how to handle things.
And don't give them a vehicle.
No.
Say, when you get this much saved, you got to have enough for insurance, and you got to have enough to buy the car. And you're going to have tags, you're going to have this. So you need X amount of dollars. So how are you going to do that?
Mm.
Well, you're going to need a job. Yeah, you're going to need a job to
Yeah.
make some money. So when you get this much saved, where we can buy insurance for your car, we can get your car.
So then, when they do come to the point where they want to buy a home, and if they need help, you can start thinking about, do I want to help them?
Right. That's a good question.
The right thing for you as a couple, if you're still married. You've got to think about your retirement. You've got to think about your investments. And you were talking about some in retirement.
Yeah, some of your retirements
caveat.
Right. Programs in there do have caveats that you can take money out for your children.
Mm-hmm.
Just a special type of program that kind of, it's kind of like you're kind of lending in the money, but you're actually got a contract like a lender, so that you could take over the house and that kind of stuff.
Lay down firm rules.
Right.
I've read about some folks out in California, things are so expensive, and a condo is, $1 million something, and these kids don't have that. So the parents are helping out, and but there are firm rules, and the mother happens to be a lawyer, so things are in black and white. And that's the way you've got to have it. It's if you're mushy gushy and helping out, then the lines are hard to draw later on when somebody's feeling like somebody else overstepped or they shouldn't have done what they did. So please get things written out very specifically.
I did that. I did land contracts with two of my girls, and one of them, they weren't doing too well, and I said, okay, you got 3 months, and if you want to go see if you can get a loan on it yourself so you can buy it from me, or I'm putting it on the market, because it was ruining our relationship because they weren't able to do it, and it was causing them problems between themselves. So you got to think of all those issues too when you do it. And
if you have clear right from the beginning, clear lines drawn in the sand, then who is responsible for what aspect, taxes, repairs, things like that, then.
And they did learn something really good from it. It was a plus for them when they went to get a loan, that they had a loan, that even if it was a land contract. It ended up being a plus for them because they'd been in it for a couple of years and they were doing all right, but things were not perfect.
No, well,
and they were able to get the money to buy the house, so it was a good experience for them.
Very good.
Very good experience for them.
So start early with the kids
and find out if they want your help. Sometimes we're eager to jump in there and they're also sometimes married to someone who doesn't want you to give them a loan. Those kind of things. They want to do it on their own,
Well, yeah.
Nothing wrong with that either. And make sure you know, like Sylvia said, how it impacts you and what rules apply to your retirement and those kind of things before you do it. Because a lot of parents have made mistakes getting into it, thinking it's all going to work out, and it doesn't work out. Like, get the legal drawn up, make them sign.
Not just the mortgage, but really draw those and be clear, like you were, in advance.
Right.
So that everybody knows when they have not done what they should have done.
It can turn out that they're very appreciative for the start that they got and what you taught them and all that. It may not, but you have to plan it accordingly and hope for the best. That's my experience.
And life is imperfect,
right?
And we're all muddling through. But just I'm trying to share a little bit of piece of advice.
Right. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you again soon.
Bye now.
Bye.